Hello, how are you? A good Erev Shabbos Kodesh, Parshas Kisovai. Yesterday was Chayel, the Emeledis of the Alter Rebbe and the Baal Shem Tov. This Shabbos is Shabbos Sliches. So, first of all, I hope everyone is gesund, stark, und freilich, begashmis und beruchnis. I hope everyone is healthy, strong, and happy, physically and spiritually. We'll start with Tzedakah, as we have since the war started. Gdelut Tzedakah Shem HaKarevis Zagula. Mashiach should come now. Next, we're going to say a pasuk, a prayer, and this prayer is going to have a word and a concept which is directly related to the thought that we're going to speak today. And this is a verse, a pasuk from Kapitel Chav Gimel, which we say tonight in davening before Aleinu, from Kapitel Chav Gimel of Tehillim. Ach toiv v'chesed yidufuni kol yemei chayoi. Only goodness and kindness shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of Hashem for many long years. So over here we have an interesting lashon. Yidufuni should follow me, but Yidufuni means also like chase me, pursue me. What is the meaning over here of Yidufuni precisely? And it's going to be connected to a pasuk from this week's parsha also, and we'll speak about it. But on this verse, by the way, you could say, the Rebbe was very much into goodness and kindness. And he said that acts of goodness and kindness will be Mashiach. Here is a source in Torah Shebichsav, Ach toiv v'chesed, goodness and kindness should follow me. Interesting. In any case, the Meiri has a Meidik pshat over here. The Meiri, and I think the Even Ezra, says the pshat over here means that this is Dovra Melech asking for Midas Toiva, so to speak. He should be a magnet for goodness. This is where you turn to Hashem and you say, Ach Toiva Chesed. I should be more and more generous. I should be more and more a person that is inspired to do acts of goodness and kindness. I should be a good person. So it's a gishmak pshat. It's not pshat ach toiv v'chesed. You're asking for your own toiv v'niglu, which is also important, and that everyone has to pray to Hashem to ask for the needs and realize that everything comes from Hashem. But also there's a spiritual request, and there's actually a sikh from the Frierdiker Rebbe somewhere where he quotes, I think his father, that says on Rosh Hashanah daf betn of midas toivis. So this is, according to the Even Ezra and the Meiri, the pshat, Ach toiv v'chesed, Hashem, help me be a good person with good character traits, filled with toiv v'chesed for others, etc. Anyways, what's the connection to this week's parsha? This week's parsha speaks about many things, the mitzvah of Bikurim, but it's also very famous. There's the Teichacha, where Hashem admonishes. And we have the brachas, we have the opposite of the brachas, where the Yidden are gathered in Har Agrizim and Har Evel, Mount Evel and Mount Grizim, and they're giving blessings, and then they're giving the opposite of blessings. So, straight away at the beginning, it says, V'hoyim shemei tishma b'kel Hashem alikecha, lishma lasas kom b'tzeis, you do everything properly, u'nesoncha Hashem alikecha, elyon al kol goyi oretz. Hashem will make you an elite nation above all the nations of the earth. And then it says, all the following blessings will come upon you and overtake you. So it speaks about the blessings, and it says the blessings will overtake you. What does this mean, the blessings will overtake you? As if you're running away from blessings, that they have to overtake you? When it comes to the opposite of blessings, in Pasuk Tezvav of the same Kapitel Chav Ches, it says also over there that and they will overtake you. And it's repeated again in Pasuk Mem Hey, same thing, which means when it comes to Hashem, you can run but you can't hide. Don't think you'll be able to escape or somehow fool God, fool Hashem, and get away with stuff, Or dafucha, you might run away from consequences, but in the end, they will catch up to you. But when it comes to brachas, we have to understand what is this strange, unusual blessing that the blessings will overtake you. What does it mean? And what's amazing about what we're going to speak today, we're going to see how it's a lesson. And there's many stories. I don't know how much, according to time, we'll see how it goes, what we're going to say. So first we'll say what the Sefarno says, what the Sefarno says, and what the Eire Chaim says, a very murdik pshat. And then the whole point of these shiurim is to bring the Hasidic perspective, which as usual makes it much more fundamental and all-encompassing for Yiddishkeit. So the Sefarno says a very gishmak pshat. What does it mean? Vesigucha afal pishel tishtadel atala sigam. The brachas will overtake you, which means even if you don't work and make yourself a vehicle. You know, in the Eilam HaTorah we call something a shtadlus. In Chassidish language you call it making a keli. So if you want to get the job, go for the interview. You understand? I'm just saying, you have to make a keli, you have to make a vehicle, a vessel for the blessings of Hashem to reside in it. So over here, what's the novelty? What's the chiddush? What kind of amazing blessing this is? Even if you don't make a vehicle, and you won't make the ishtadlus, afal pisha le tishtadel atal asigam. Even if you won't make an effort, you'll still get these brachas. And v'zeh keshetir teroscha keva malachtcha aray. And according to the Sefarno, it's because since you made spirituality primary and you weren't into materialism, so therefore Hashem rewards you in such a way like you could even less have to be involved and investing in the material, and Hashem will take care of you. That's the reward. Vesigucha. It will come to you no matter what, even though you did nothing on your part in the physical realm to make it happen. That's the Sefarno. The Eire Chaim says on Meir de Kipshat that it will happen and it'll bypass any judgments or severities. In other words, a person does good things and he has brachas, but there might be other things that get in the way that, you know. On the other hand, we take a deep look into your file, who knows? And over here, this is words of the Eire Chaim HaKadosh that the Mala Hashem Mishaloisov, the Eibishter will fulfill your requests, whatever you want. But the toiva hula mata yishpetu sanhedrin mailim roi. Sometimes the bezdin shel maila, the supernal court, could start looking into you to say, are you really worthy? Do you really deserve the reward? And im einer roi lo yagiyoi. And if you're not worthy, it won't reach you. They'll overtake you. It means they'll override whatever opposition's on the way, and it's guaranteed. I don't know exactly what it means, but he already said before that it means Batidinim Shalmaila, but maybe it means that once there's the Batidinim Shalmaila make a verdict that you shouldn't be getting it, so obviously something physical happens in the world that should prevent you shouldn't get it. By the way, this Pirish fits very well in Chassidus that explains, it's in many Maimorim, how there's kindness in Atzilus, and even if your bank account in Atzilus, in the world of Atzilus, is full of kindness and things that are meant to happen to you in this world, still it takes a long time to travel from the realm of Atzilus to this world, and sometimes you have to have more merits to make sure that the withdrawal and the delivery system should come from the world of Atzilus to this world, as explained in many Maimorim in Chassidus about Birchas Kohanim, etc. So over here, this is what the Eire Chaim is saying, that it'll override everything, it'll reach you no matter what. And this fits very well with another piece of davening, which I love, and I've mentioned this already before, I'm sure, because things that I really love, I think are so special, and that's what we say during the Aseret Shmei Tshuva, U'b'sefer Chaim B'racha V'sholom Parnasa Teva, Yeshua V'nechama Gzeiros Tovos, Nizocha V'nikosel V'necha. Which the translation means, in the book of life, blessing, peace, and prosperity, deliverance, consolation, and favorable decrees. So, l'chayra, what does it mean, Gzeiros Tovos? Favorable decrees means, al derech the pshat of the Eire Chaim over here, V'sigucha, no matter what, it's a decree, the goodness will come to you and will override supersede any hindrances, oppositions, whatever they may be, you will get that blessing. It's a guarantee. So that's the pshat of the Eirei Chaim. And now we'll come to the pshat according to Chassidus. According to Chassidus, it's a whole different thing, and it's a statement about what it means to be a Jew and how Judaism differs from every other concept of religion. And we spoke about this already many times. No one got it. So in the pasuk where it says about how the Sigucha, we said before that it says in the Son Hashem Elikecha Elyoin al Kol Goyei Oretz. That's a statement of fact that Hashem chose the Jewish nation, and He made us superior. Not, God forbid, that we have arrogance or haughtiness connected to this. On the contrary, we're the only religion that's not interested in making converts. But we know that we are the chosen people and we have a mission. But you didn't get to choose whether you are from the chosen people. Just like you don't have a choice who your parents are. Your parents decided to give birth to you. You didn't decide to become a Jew. Hashem put Himself into you. Chelik elikam imal mamish. And that makes you essentially different than everyone else. And essentially good. Now, I don't want to get into this. I think we spoke about this many times. Is Judaism a race or it's a religion? And we spoke that it's a race, but the religion is intertwined completely in it. The religion brings out the beauty of the race. But what's the nafka min al-halacha, where other religions does not compute, is that in the end, I have news for you. No matter what you choose to do in this life, ultimately the good that's in you will emerge. Ultimately the good in you will break through and shine. That's the meaning of a Jew. And this is what we're being told over here. And this is how the verses come one after the other. The greatest thing is that the Eibishter chose the Jews. That's the greatest thing, that you are a Jew. And He made us transcendental, and that we can rise above everything. And then comes after that, the blessings will overtake you, which means even a person, a Yid, who is alienated and feels separate and cut off and could have done everything he could in the world to try to extinguish that spark. I have news for you, that spark will not be extinguished. You could do what you want. Imagine I told you a person wanted to commit suicide and he tried and he put a puddle in his brain. It doesn't work. I'm still here. My nefesh alikis, my yechida shebenefesh, is going to always be alive, throbbing, and there's nothing you can do about it. Now, this is the basis of, you could say, almost everything. The basis of the Jewish Chabad activism. The idea of what the job description of what a Jewish leader is. It's all about getting in touch with the Yidden's neshama, the pint of the Yid, which is by every single Yid, no matter what. And this is what the Alter Rebbe writes in Tanya, chapter 39, where he brings down the word where it says, chapter 39, he says, L'olam yasek adam. Person should always occupy themselves in Torah shalei lishma, shemitech shalei lishma bo lishma. You should always learn Torah even if it has ulterior motives and it doesn't seem like it's real or authentic. Shemitech shalei lishma bo lishma bevadai. Wow. The Alter Rebbe says, and this explains the wording of the sages in the Razal, in the Gemara, it says l'olam always, which seems to be, that's the norm. That's the sequence of events. You start off that it's with ulterior motives, no worries, that's the way it works. But then, it's guaranteed that in the end, you'll come to serving Hashem in authenticity, and it'll be real, and it'll be for the right reasons. And the Alter Rebbe writes as follows, for in the end, it is guaranteed that you will return. Begilgal zeh, begilgalach, in one reincarnation or another. And the Rebbe explains Pshat, in one reincarnation or the other means in one sort of life altering event. There's some people go through dramatic things in life, for the good or for the negative. But these sort of events trigger many times the release of the core of your Jewish identity. Ki lo yidach mimenu nidach. Because no, lo yidach mimenu nidach, even someone who's pushed away, a banished person who seems far and alienated, will not be pushed away. That's what the Alter Rebbe says. In chapter 39 of the Tanya, it is connected also with halacha and the Rambam. The Rambam in Hilchos Tshuva Perek Zayin halacha Hey writes that a kvar avticha Torah, the Torah guarantees Seif Yisrael lasis tshuva, that the Yidden will do tshuva, b'seif galusim at the end of exile, u'miyadin negolim, shenema v'hoi ki yavoyu alecha kol advarim, all these things shall pass. And then the pasuk says, "V'shavta ad Hashem elikecha," you will return to Hashem. V'shav Hashem elikecha shvuscha, Hashem will bring back your captives, which means you all are going to return. Every Yid will do tshuva. As we know the famous song, no matter where you may roam, you can always come back home. And I said, no matter where you may roam, you will come back home. So this is, like we quoted from Tanya, chapter 39. This is the basis of Chassidus, starting from the Baal Shem Tov, turning to every single Jew. The one who looks like he's a simple truck driver, electrician, plumber, you name it. Where before the Baal Shem Tov came along, there was a divide, there was a division, there was a separation. The Baal Shem Tov came along and showed that no matter who you are, whatever Yid you are, you have that pintel Yid, and it could be that in you, yes you, that pintel Yid, that spark, is more pure, and in a way, going to be more powerful, in certain senses, than the greatest scholars. That was the whole point of the Baal Shem Tov. So therefore, this is what it means. The goodness, the Torah, the mitzvahs, everything that we're speaking about in the whole Sefer, Chamisha Chumshei Torah, that will come to you. In other words, what's the greatest blessing? That you'll be with the truth. You'll discover the truth. You'll live with the truth. And you'll be going higher and higher and more intimate with your relationship with Hashem. Even if you're trying to run away, even if you're totally alienated. Guess what? It might even be a self-hating Jew. But no matter what, we just quoted the Alter Rebbe in Tanya chapter 39, which really is connected to a pasuk. I don't want to get into it now. And we quoted the Rambam. So there's nothing to talk about. Now, on a certain level, this could also mean more, let's take it in another, connected with this meaning. Just, what does it mean, Vesigucha? It could also mean that you don't realize it. When you're the Jews walking on the street, I think I brought this out before, and someone comes over to you, Lubavitcher Bacher, are you Jewish? Do you want to put on tefillin? You say no, etc. In the end, they found you. You went to live in Zimbabwe. You went to live in New Zealand. You went to live somewhere far away from every Jew. You were running away as much as possible. But you can run, but you can't hide in the positive way. Vesigucha, the mitzvah will overtake you. Hashem will find you and make you do a mitzvah. And this is what it means also, like we said, in the general sense, every single Jew, his Yiddishkeit, Vesigucha, which that's the greatest blessing of his life, and also in particular, like we see, that's what happens in the world where there's a Jew who never thought he'll find other Jews, and then there's so many stories, left, right, and center, where all of a sudden there's a bacher, a shliach, who finds another Jew, totally separated, and it was a chance encounter, and that's it, Baruch Hashem, we're mazakim with the mitzvah, that will get us neshama pumping, and like I said, according to Chassidus, this is the job description of every single Rebbe, to touch, arouse, inspire, ignite everyone's neshama. And this is the whole idea of why we're being Mekarev Yidden, because we just want to bring it out. It's going to happen anyways. And this is the most appealing message when we're talking to a Yid. And there's many stories that are connected with this. Hello, yeah, anyways. That's the real you. This is the true you. Your better self is the true you. So you might as well start now. Why are you going to wait for later to get this treasure, which is priceless, which is anyways going to be you? Start now, etc., 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 etc. We'll get back to this, but I want to say another pshat in Vesigucha that I love very much. So I'm just putting it out there, and then we'll go back to this point that I'm speaking now. Another pshat that I once heard, and I wrote it down, and I don't know who I heard it from. And if anybody ever heard this pshat, please let me know what the source is. What does it mean? And overtake you, this apoil shavart, Vesigucha could be miloshna saga. Understanding, comprehension. All these blessings will come to you, Vesigucha, vestasnemen richtig. You'll understand it properly. You'll take it properly. In other words, the blessing is, you should get showered with blessings from Hashem, but you should take it in the right way. It should make you a better person. It should make you more humble. Many people, they become successful in life and they think they're a big man. It was my ideas. Like the Pasuk says, they think that their success is attributed to their own brains, to their own talents, when really it's meant to bring out the opposite. The more kindness that's bestowed upon you, according to the measure of the kindness which is bestowed upon you, should be your humility. See Igeres HaKodesh chapter 2 at length, where the Alter Rebbe talks, Katointi mikola chasodim, mikola emes asher asisa im avdecha, asher asisa es avdecha, that because he was showered with goodness and kindness, and he had the liberty of Yutas Kislev redeemed from prison, he explains that's the difference between Chesed of Yishmael and Chesed of Avram, of Yaakov, of Yidden, a Jew, a Yid, and this is what it means, this is one of the demarcation points, to see the distinction between a good person, a moral person, a correct person, an ethical person, a spiritual person, is that the more kindness, exactly so, the more kindness that's showered upon him, it increases his humility. The more kindness that was done to him, the more he wants to share it. That's what Alter Rebbe says over there. Kol HaKorav Yoser Kala. He realizes, because he's showered with more goodness and kindness from Hashem, more good, so that means that he's closer, the Eibishter was nicer in a revealed way to him, so that causes me to feel even more humble, more a sense of gratitude. He's filled with gratitude, and therefore, kindness begets kindness begets kindness. You share more, and your kindness is b'li gvul. As explained, others give charity only from the leftovers, when it's convenient, for when it's easy. But the real way of charity is even when it's in your deep pockets, but it's unlimited, and you go even above beyond your nature. Why? Because you're humble, etc. See there. So now we understand mamish Meridik Pshat, how Vesigucha, something's happened to you in life. This is a general thing in life about things. I always speak about Chassidische Kuk, Nishkin Chassidische Kuk. There's a Torah Ashkafa, not a Torah Ashkafa. Things happen in a person's life. And the question is, what's your take on it? Okay, Mr. Successful, what's your take? Did it fill you up with more arrogance? You saw how your smarts and your cunningness and your made you successful? Is that your take? Or is your take, wow, I can't believe it. There I saw Hashem. There I saw Hashem. There I saw Hashem. It was all Hashem. Thank you, Hashem. And if not for Hashem, Lule Hashem Shahayalanu. If it wasn't for Hashem, I wouldn't have gotten nowhere. And you're filled with that, and that's what it means. You get the blessings, but guess what? The blessings alone are not the blessing. Because if you got the blessings from Hashem and you took it the wrong way, then it might not make you a better person. So the blessing is that the blessings make you a better person. And that's what it means, Vesigucha, du verstehst es richtig. Okay, I just want to get back to, there's not too much time left. I want to get back to how this, going back to David HaMelech's Pshat, Ach Toiv V'Chesed Yidufuni, and also over here V'Sigucha. I'll give you a simple difference in life. We'll finish with this, even though I want to say a story with the Baal Shem Tov and his whole approach. We're coming from Chayel, so in this week's Parsha we start with the blessings. That's the Chassidus approach. We start with the positive, then we go further. And according to Chassidus and previous Torah, even the things which are not blessings are really blessings. As we know from many stories, this is a short share, we can't cover everything. But I want to finish with one point, Ach Toiv V'Chesed Yidufuni and V'Sigucha, and I want to connect it. Mr. Yankel Shmerel Beryl, you're in bed, it's 10:30 at night, and someone knocks on your door, and he is a Meshulach. So now the question is, how do you look at it? Why are they bothering me? It's so late at night. Oh, merais from a shticker. Sometimes a wealthy person, he feels that way, and you could say justifiably so. Every single person has to knock on my door for my donation. I'm ready to give $100,000 for a room in this yeshiva. And I'm ready to give $1 million for this institution to build a new dormitory wing. But why is this group of Mesiba Shabbos boys from 5th grade asking me for $50? Do they also have to knock on my door? Every single day I walk into shul, people are jumping on me from all sides. Let them go to somebody else sometimes. Why do I have to be the one that is always the one who's bothered and nudged? I feel that I have no rest. People are bothering me from all sides. And we understand that. And there could be a point to it. But I want to bring out a perspective. Imagine you looked at it, it's 10:30 at night, that person's knocking on the door. And what's really transpiring here is the Eibishter really, Ach Toiv V'Chesed Yidufuni, the tzedakah for that day was Thursday Chayelul, and now it's 10:30 p.m. early Yutaselul. Someone knocked on the door, and you know why he knocked at the door? To do you a favor. What type of favor? The greatest favor. Why the greatest favor? Because for that day, for some reason, the amount of mitzvahs you are meant to have is not filled. There's a quota. Neshama means to do, was meant to do for that day. And the Eibishter knows you, that even though the Mishnah says, Avarot mitzvah kala, run to an easy mitzvah, and the Bartanura says, Kol shkein mitzvah chamura, all the more for a serious mitzvah. And mitzvah is a very serious mitzvah, the greatest mitzvah in a certain sense. But Mr. Shmerel Beryl, on that Thursday, for whatever reason, didn't get the total amount of mitzvahs that he needs for that day. Guess what? The Eibishter is so kind. Ach Toiv V'Chesed Yidufuni. The act of tzedakah is going to pursue you, chase you. The light in your front door was already closed. It was dark. But the mitzvah comes knocking on your door, chasing after you. So that you should get the mitzvah for that day. Wow. Thank you, Hashem. So imagine a Meshulach walks into your house. He knocked on your door 10:30 p.m. and you give him a hug and you say, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is the fulfillment of the words, Ach Toiv V'Chesed Yidufuni. The Chesed and Toiv ran after me. The brachas V'Sigucha. The greatest bracha that I could have is to do a mitzvah, Les Char B'Hai Al Maleka. V'Yichud Zeh L'Mayla Nitzchi Leilam Vod. It's immeasurable, it's priceless. We can't, it's infinity itself. And guess what? You didn't have to work one iota of sweat. It came to your front door. Could you imagine? If, without even you being prepared, you got a letter in the mail, you opened it up, it's a check for $1 billion. That's exactly what it means, that this Meshulach knocked on your door and is asking for a donation. Now I think if you looked at it that way, your whole perspective is going to change. This same person before that felt the merais from them shticker, and it always has to be me, and why? Now thinks of it differently. He says, Ach Toiv V'Chesed Yidufuni. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That I was given another opportunity to do this mitzvah, and the fulfillment of this verse, that the blessings come to me, and they overtake me, even if I wasn't really so interested in this minute. But really, Hashem had mercy on me and sent me this, the greatest blessing of all. So we spoke about the Baal Shem Tov and his whole attitude. We mentioned Alter Rebbe and Perek Lametes, which is such a fundamental point. Every Yid bevadai will do tshuva, and they should help. We should do our part. Let's all pray taka achtay v'chesed lefuni, according to Rebbe Nezer and the Meiri, that we should all be filled with midas toivos, mamish, 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 and the schus of our turning to Hashem, that we're ready to be there for someone else. Elul Rosh Tevis ani oy Elul ishlere eyu umatonis lev yoinem. The Eibush will act in a similar manner. Uberchenu avinu kolonik echad. When he'll see the actors amongst us, and he'll bring us the biggest blessing, the gula mitzvah shleima. Take it from Yad Mamish. Posting from my home, Be'ez Hashem Yisbarach, your man in Melbourne.